I was looking at the bank account and I was like, we make okay money, but for some reason, every single month it seemed to, no money was going to savings. I'm like, what's happening here?
And I'm committed, fully adapt and overcome, stay ready, always fit for duty.
Hey, Gilbert Realist here. Today's going to be talking about money and budgeting for first responders. Before we get into that, our 3 pillars are all about mental health, family, and fitness. Now, to get into today's topic of money and budgeting for first responders, one of the reasons I really wanted to talk about this for the podcast, because money could be a mental health issue if it becomes a problem. And you just having financial freedom as a first responder should be a thing so you don't have to stress about. Because we don't make the best money for what we do as a profession. If it's not handled correctly, then it's going to be an issue. One of the few biggest reasons why marriages fail is always money issues, affair issues, and then like religion, like not agreeing on religion or how to raise the kids. And so if money's going to be at that top 3, then obviously money could be an issue that's going to cause stress, an issue on a family or yourself. And so that's why I said, like, this is such a big topic that I really wanted to talk about, because it could be a really big issue. And we lost people to suicide. You probably know someone who committed suicide or know someone who's lost someone to suicide. And money is also an issue that could factor into suicide as well. So again, it's what big topic I really wanted to kind of go on here, because it could become a very big issue if it's not managed properly, or if it's not taken seriously, and it's just money in coming out for you and not really thinking about it. And we're not even talking just in the moment. We're talking like, let's say you retire and you got really no money to show for it, and you're so focused on this pension that you're so worried about, and then something happens to you on the job. Anything can happen, and then now you just, you don't get the pension rate that you wanted, and then you're kind of just stuck in this whole thing because you're so focused on that, rather than focusing on, it's not just the pension, there's other ways to grow money. You're just throwing everything all at one hand, hoping that works. To give you some background on me, back in 2017, I was probably 1 year on the job, and I remember talking to my wife at that time. We're going over, I was looking at the bank account and I was like, we make okay money, especially where we live at the time. We make okay money, but for some reason, every single month it seemed to, no money was going to savings. I'm like, what's happening here? Like, we're good with money. We don't just spend on the fly. We don't have very much loans. We just had, typical 2-car loans, a house, and then just, the phone, stuff like that, and your like regular bills. But there's no like other big loans. There's no trailers, no boats, nothing like that. And so I'm like, what is happening every month that's causing us to just be kind of just always having no money to put into savings? And one of my uncles, I remember him and his partner were big into Dave Ramsey, and they were pretty wealthy, and they had multiple homes all across the United States. And I remember just always looking up to them and their money strategies on what they do with money, and who, what they got their strategies from and their methods from. And I remember they were telling me about Dave Ramsey and like, read this book. I remember I avoided it for like 3 years. And now, again, I wasn't making the best money because I was still a rookie, but there was still much more money than we were making the year before that. So I'm like, okay, where's this going? Because we're making more money now, but we're obviously spending somewhere more. And so it was at that moment I actually went on Amazon, bought the book. The book came to my house like the next day or 2 days from there. Read the whole book in a day, and the biggest thing out of it was just like, you need to budget. So I remember I downloaded the Every Dollar app, and I was like, all right, cool, put everything in there, opened up my bank account, went to Every Dollar, put everything I think that goes into there, and then I started tracking everything that I spend. And the crazy thing was we were actually spending like, I think it was like $300 at Chili's just in a month. And at that time, Chili's was like one of my favorite restaurants. They had the California flatbread, and we knew a couple waitresses there that knew us by name. So we walked in and they always greet us, and then it was always a good time. We'd be talking to the waitress. It was kind of like our thing that we did every week, multiple times a week. So we're talking like 2 or 3 times a week. And I always went in there for that flatbread. I love that flatbread. Every time we paid was only literally like $40 at a time, and like 47 bucks at a time. And so what you don't realize is that those little payments add up in the month. So if you're going 2 or 3 times a month, plus times 4 weeks, they're going to be getting into, I'm trying to remember, so if you're thinking like 45, that's 90 bucks a week, 9, 18, 12, 7, 36, $360 in a month. So that's how I realized, oh shit, these chili things are pretty high up. They were pretty much a car payment at that time. Like my car payment at the time was like $380, $360 at that time. And I was like, this is like pretty much the same price as my car. And so I was like, all right, this is an issue. Let's fix it. But again, started budget, everything like that. And then my goal was to pretty much do all the baby steps that Dave Ramsey preaches in his stuff. And so, because I wanted to get to that point, I wanted to have financial freedom. And so then I started doing baby steps. We started knocking out all baby steps, and started going for like that whole debt-free way of living. And within 20, I think it was 22 months, 22, 23 months, we had knocked out over $90,000 in debt. Started realizing like, oh shoot, we have debt here, we have debt there, credit cards, freaking furniture credit cards, school loans, stuff like that. I was like, oh shit, there's actually more than I was even even thinking that we had. Because you don't realize until you start putting it all on paper, like, oh, we have this, 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 and this. But again, it's just, if you just manage your money right now, it'll be much better for later. If you're able to knock out this debt now, you have a much better financial freedom during your life right now and not be so stressed. Because knocking off that $90,000+ of debt and being debt free in that moment, and then start to be able to load my 6-month emergency fund was super fast, because again, so much money coming in at that time. And at that point, able to buy stuff now at that point was just much easier, because like, all right, cool, we have all this income coming in, much better. My mortgage is only $1,300 because I bought my house back in 2017, 16. Yeah, something like that. So my mortgage was like $1,300 at that time. Nice, beautiful 2-story home, and it was just like, all right, all this money coming in now. Now we're able to buy stuff whenever we want to buy stuff, and what we needed and whatnot. So the biggest tip I will give on budgeting money, or just money itself, managing money, is just create a budget. If it's just you, create a budget. If it's you have a partner or a spouse, go over this budget with your partner. Actually talk with them, figure out where every dollar is going. Actually know, as the manager of your own money, you are the CEO of your money. Figure out where every dollar is going, and really, like, it might be, don't be scared to open up that bank account. Don't be scared to write everything down, because it will be, you might have a hesitation like I did and be able to start putting everything in line for line for line. So actually think about that, like, all right, cool, I'm gonna start putting everything line for line for line. What am I doing? Where's everything going? And then actually get that slap in the face, like, oh shit, okay, all this money's going. Because like from there, now you can make a change if you want to. Now you can make a change and decide where you're gonna move things now in your favor, because you are the manager. Like, you're the head coach, you're the CEO, you're the manager of that money. Move it to where it's gonna benefit you now. And so an example of that is, like, I know a lot of first responders, worked with many first responders. I was a first responder, and so I remember having coworkers who had, not only did they have the 2 car payments, but then they had a high mortgage, and then they had boats, and then they had the trailers and all the toys, like the ATVs and the dirt bikes, and kids in like these very expensive like travel teams. So all that put together into their day, and it's just like, it adds up, like if you're having to take a loan out on your home to pay for something, or to pay for upgrades for your home, or whatever it is, that's an issue. It means that you do not have the money to pay for that, and now you're actually betting on your home to make this happen, and then it's just a really bad issue. So it's like, make sure you have the money to buy what you need to buy. And then the biggest thing is organization. Like, really actually put down everything that you do have loan wise, and actually see it on paper, because most people don't even know their like subscriptions they have right now. They think they have a few, maybe Netflix, maybe Hulu, but then when they actually put it on paper, they actually budget what comes out of their bank account. They're like, oh shit, we actually have this and that, and freaking makeup subscriptions and that subscriptions, and 5 different movie subscriptions, like TV show subscriptions, stuff like that. And then you start realizing, oh, there's actually all this money coming out into here, and you can actually start cutting stuff out, different expenses in different spots. Even food, I would say food's probably the biggest one. Especially like me, I always meal prep. I would have Chipotle at work because it was only $3. I work for, when you work in a uniform, you get it for $3. But I would recommend going down the debt-free way with Dave Ramsey. Buy the book. That'll be my second tip, is buy the book, Financial Freedom. I think that's what it's called. Super easy to read. The way it writes, the way it's worded in there is super easy. Again, I'm not a big reader, but I knocked out that book in a day because the way it reads is super easy. It's not like a lecture book, it's really easy to read and whatnot. There's like little like graphs, so that kind of helps you understand what he means as well. Budget, buy the book, become debt free, go for that journey. Trust me, it might take a year, it might take 2 years. He says the average about 2 years. I would recommend doing it. If you don't care to go down and around be debt free, which I don't know a reason why you wouldn't, and I know that some people have this mindset. I remember I had an older mentor when I was working who had told me, like, when I had told him what I was going to do, I was like, oh, I want to be debt free. I'm going to go on this journey. He said, you'll never become debt free. It's not a thing that can happen. It's not possible. But again, he's setting that limitation on himself, being almost 50 years old. Like, no, that's not possible, because the older people generations were so focused on that. Like, we have, all this debt, that you need credit score, you need all this stuff. And then what happened? Knocked it out in 23 months and was debt free. And it was like, yeah, I made it happen. Look at it, super easy. It was always super easy, but not an issue. It is possible. There's no limitation on myself. The only limitation I create is just myself, and I'm not going to put that limitation on myself. So the other things to think about too is this pension. So many people in this profession are so focused on a pension, and their whole lives revolve as handcuffed on this pension itself, and they're willing to sacrifice and kill themselves over trying to get this pension and make it happen. And some people even hate their jobs. Like, they'll tell me, like, they're like, I hate this job, I don't want to be here, but this pension, I need this pension. And they don't realize that you can make money doing anything, or you can make money anywhere, and you could put money into mutual funds, you could put money into Roth IRAs, and create your own retirement fund at the end whenever you finish working. And it's so funny because so many people are so focused on, like, retiring when they're in, like, a first responder profession, or even like CEOs and whatnot. It's like they're so focused on this, and then they retire at 50. I know that a lot of old people retiring at 50, but nowadays it's like 57. But from people back then to about my age, it's like 50, 52, 55, 57, and they're so focused on this. But it's like, what are you gonna do after that? There's, like, they think they're just gonna go fishing and play golf every single day of their life, and then have no purpose. And that's the reason why most of them have, like, a life expectancy of 2 to 5 years, and they just croak and die. And it's because, one, their health is so shitty while they're working, and then two, they have no purpose, and they just end up dying. You need purpose. And one of the people I used to work with at the academy, because I was one of the instructors at the academy, there was an older guy there who was one of the old commanders back in my department. And he was retired long ago, had retired long before I even started, but he was still going to the academy, still working. And I used to ask him, like, why do you still come here? You're like, he was in his 70s, and he's like, I just need purpose. I need something to do every day. I can't just, eating steak and going fishing gets old really fast. Like, I want to be able to wake up. I want to be able to come do something. I enjoy teaching these young people about whatever I teach. And it gives me some kind of purpose to, wake up every day. And it really is true, because once you start getting to 60s and 70s, most likely your parents are going to be passed away at that point. Either they live to 100, or they're going to be passed away by that point. Your kids are going to be older if you do have kids. You have to really think about what are you going to be doing with your life, and hopefully that you have a partner to kind of spend your time with. And I don't think not everyone's going to be traveling the world like they say, unless they're really set up for that financially. But doing something, having some purpose, making money, I don't know why anyone would want to stop working at that age. Like, you don't have to work full time for the rest of your life, but shit, get a freaking part-time job just doing something to give yourself some purpose. Even if it's just a job. I mean, it's 2024. There's so many jobs that you could do just from your home and from your computer or from your phone, and make a part-time check every single month. And so it's like, why not just do that while you're still bringing in your pension money and whatnot? But again, you don't have to focus on the pension. There's other ways to make money. So if you really do hate the profession, like a lot of people do, and again, and it's only because my experience of hearing it, it's like, go get yourself a new job, go get yourself a new career. Okay, you're 30. Okay, you're 40. Like, it's not the end of the world. There's people who are chasing their dreams at 50 and 60, And so it's like, they think like, oh, it's already too late, I'm already too old. Like, we're only on this planet for less than 100 years. Some people might hit 100, some people might hit 105, but majority of people are dying at 80. So it's like, and the age keeps going lower and lower and lower. The life expectancy for a human keeps going lower and lower. So it's like, if we're only here for a small time, just to enjoy it and have some purpose. Do what you love. Make money doing what you love. Like, there's no reason to be so focused on this pension, finish, croak and die, and then you're unhappy for those 30 years. If you're gonna be doing a profession for 30 years, might as well enjoy it. You know what I mean? And again, it all comes down to managing money, because most people are so stressing because I need the income, I need this for that, I need this for that. All right, well, manage your income, because you probably haven't even put it all on paper to manage it and whatnot, to actually see what's going in, what's going out, to actually see how much you're spending on alcohol, to actually see how much you're spending on eating out, to actually see how much you're spending on just bullshit. So actually, really look at it. Once you look at it and you figure out where every dollar is going, you're like, oh, look at this. Like, I feel pretty great. Now I know everything is going. Now I can take from here, I can take from there, I can add from here, add from there. You actually invest into yourself, invest in your health, invest in your money, invest in your future, and because you actually know where everything is going now, rather than just spending it on random stuff. Again, these small subscriptions that we pay for, we don't realize when we buy them. Yeah, there might be $3, might be $4, but I mean, shit, Netflix was like $4 back in the day, and now it's even more expensive now. So it's like they'll start increasing prices. You don't really know. You just swipe the email because when it says increased price, and then you don't even know what you're paying now, and then it's just taking out of your stuff every single month. I know people with like 4 gym memberships. It makes no sense because they don't even go to the gym that often. They look horrible, but again, they still have 4 gym memberships. So really think about where it's going. Again, investing in your health is great. Investing in your future is great. Investing in your family is great, but actually manage it and know where it's going. Because if you're just spending it all and not really know where it's going, then again, this is coming from someone who was spending it all on Chili's, eating out. So actually really think about where that's going. And then once you get to that, again, if you do decide to go that debt freedom route, it's amazing. If you do decide to just actually just budget, even if you don't go to the debt freedom route and you want to have debt or whatever for some reason, at least having a budget every single month and knowing where it's going will make you feel so much better. And so again, because the less stress that we can add on to our day, you're already stressed, the profession is already stressful as it is, the stuff you have to see is already stressful as it is, you got the shift work is already stressful as it is. So doing your job day in and day out, week in and week out, you might be having personal problems at home, whatever it is. Hopefully money is not a stress that you could be thinking about, because again, you have the ability to control how your money is managed. So why not control that factor in your life so that you're not stressing about it to where it might become an issue. If you're a first responder, you've probably been to calls of suicide where people have literally killed themselves because of money. Like you see their note that they put down is because of money. You see like a computer open with a bunch of expenses and like $200,000 worth of debt, because I've seen it, where someone just killed themselves in their chair. And again, we've all seen calls like that. It doesn't mean that we're people who cannot fall into that as well. And again, money is a big thing that could cause that kind of issue. Money could be stress on your family. Money could be stress on yourself. So really take care of this, really manage this. Like I said, the budget, buy the book, go debt free. And if you don't want to go that route, it's fine. At least you budget and buy the book. Not so much focus on this pension, because you don't have to. If you want to, great. But if you're so focused on because you think that you have to, then really think about how there's other ways of investing in money and investing in your future. It's not just that. So if you have any questions on budgeting, leave a comment. Let me know how you guys invest your money for your future, and I'll see you in the next video.